Is this what Prince Harry meant when he spoke about the right people around our gracious Majesty the Queen? Well, is it? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Thank you for joining me today. And yes, this particular image that you've seen at the side of the screen is the former home of a former British Prime Minister, Benjamin Disraeli. Now, Benjamin Disraeli and Queen Victoria did not really see eye to eye, but he managed to control her in the end. And I say that loosely, you know. When I say control her, nobody controlled Queen Victoria, as one could imagine. But what he did do was decide to flatter her. You know, if she asked him an opinion, he just piled it on with a trowel, he said. That's the only way to connect to Her Majesty the Queen. Now, whether she picked up on this or not quite sure, but the story goes that Disraeli was one of her favourites, at least for a short time, and this particular palatial home is still standing today. As I say, it's on the corner of Park Lane, wonderful area, oozing with money, a bit like you and me. Well, yeah. Not so really, eh? Not with the cost of living crisis as ever. Back as ever though, as always, to your Breaking Royal story of the day. Many of us can't forget that particular statement that Prince Harry said when he sat down for yet another interview, a paid interview, we allegedly found out, with another US channel, where he said upon meeting Her Majesty the Queen after a very long time that he was checking in, making sure that she had the right people around her. Remember, that sent shockwaves, of course, around many royal circles and indeed in senior circles within inside palace walls. What exactly did he mean by the right people? After all, you know, if he was so concerned, why is he so many thousands of miles away? So this particular story really does make you wonder whether Prince Harry would, well, appreciate and in fact consider this particular individual the right person around Her Majesty the Queen. We're talking about the esteemed dresser Angela Kelly. Now, Angela Kelly, of course, has been the lady who's revolutionised the look of Her Majesty the Queen over the last so many years with those bright, bold colours that make Her Majesty stand out when she's out and about greeting many people. A clever move, in fact, by Angela, and she's so trusted, in fact, that she's got 2 books out about her, the Queen. All, of course, being given by kind permission by Her Majesty, and we do know that they are very good, close friends. I mean, you know, just because she's the monarch, obviously people think who's she close to, her family? She does need other people. So there's a story going around in the media that Angela Kelly has now moved into Windsor Castle, just a door away from our gracious Majesty the Queen, full time. How true is that story? Well, the true story about Angela Kelly moving into Windsor Castle is simply this. She's been living there full time on and off since, well, really the sort of hub around our gracious Majesty the Queen at the start of the pandemic. And it's not like it's a new story. Yes, she's spending more time there with Her Majesty the Queen simply because of the Queen's mobility issues, which we've all detailed in great detail. And I won't go into it anymore because I know for any lady, they don't want to talk about that, do we? Wasn't it lovely to see her at the Windsor Horse Show, though, actually moving around? I thought that was splendid, you know, and she looked so happy and contented. But what we can tell you from a very good source is this. Angela is a respected member of the royal team. Allegedly, it was Angela who sort of got into the ruck with the lady known sometimes as the Duchess of Sussex and was dragged into Tiara Gate. Remember, our gracious Majesty the Queen had basically asked Angela to go along and assist with the picking of the tiaras for that now infamous wedding way back in 2018. And sadly for Angela, she seemed to have got embroiled in that particular battle. Now, as we've said at the beginning of this particular video, it appeared that Prince Harry was wanting to make sure that the right people are around our gracious Majesty the Queen. Well, Angela Kelly is certainly one of them, and as we've told you before, it looks like the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge will be moving even closer. So for Harry and Meghan concerned about exactly who's circling Her Majesty, fear not. She seemingly has the right people now around her. And as we saw those recent pictures of her beaming with happiness, clearly it's doing her the world of good. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.